This chapter introduces the next control flow construct we're going to learn in Java, and that's repetition. We're going to learn repetition via two constructs, the while loop and the for loop. And we're going to start off in this lesson with an introduction to the while loop. The while loop's form is really quite simple, so let me write it out for you right here. The while loop works like so. We start off with the keyword while, followed by a relational expression. That relational expression is tested to see if it's true. If it's true, then we move into the loop body, which consists of several statements, or as many statements as you need to have, including one statement that at some point will make the relational expression false, either via a direct assignment or by searching for a particular value in a file someplace or getting it from the user. Several different ways the relational expression can be made false, but at some point the expression must be made false if we want the loop to stop. Now, there are situations where you have a loop that runs forever and waits for a special condition to stop, but in general we want our loops to stop at a certain point. And throughout this chapter, we're going to demonstrate how that works. So with that very brief overview of the while loop, let's look at two simple examples in this introduction. This first introduction is going to display the phrase "Hello World" 5 times on the screen. So to do that, here's what I need to do. The first thing I need is a variable that keeps track of how many times I've executed the body of the loop. So we'll call this variable count, and we'll set it equal to 0. And then we're going to say while count is less than 5, because I'm starting at 0. Before I move on any farther, let me do something here. I'm going to always put my opening curly brace for my while loop up on the same line with the loop. I started doing that at the end of the last chapter on if statements, and I'm going to do it all the way through this chapter on loops. It's just a whole lot easier and saves a little bit of space. So let's go back up here very quickly and change my general form of a while loop and put the brace there. Okay, getting back to the loop. Our expression, our relational expression reads count less than 5. So while count is less than 5, write out to the screen, hello world. So system out print line. Now, and this is a crucial step, we have to have a statement that will make the relational expression become false. The only way we can make this relational expression become false is for count to be equal to or greater than 5. And the best way to do that is to increment count by 1 each time through the loop. So that count is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then when it gets to 5, then it stops, which means we've printed out hello world 5 times. And that's all we have to do. So we close the loop body with a closing curly brace, and we should be ready to go. So let's save the program. Let's clear the screen, and then let's compile chap 9 part1.java, and then java chap 9 part1, and there's hello world 5 times. So let me move the output to where you can see it with the loop. So you see what's happened. While the value of count is less than 5, write out to the console hello world, and then increment count by 1. So we get 5 displays of hello world. That is, in essence, how a while loop works. Let's look at one more example. It's very similar, but a little bit different. This time we're going to display, let's say, the numbers 1 through 10. So let's wipe out what we've done here, and we'll begin the program by creating a variable number and set it equal to 1. We're going to display the numbers 1 through 10, so we want to say while number is less than or equal to 10, open the body, system out print line number, that's all we need to display. And then finally, we need that statement that makes the relational expression false. Again, this is a simple increment, so we just increment number by 1, and then close the body of the loop. So let's save that program, then go back to our DOS window, let's clear the screen, compile it again, and then run it, and there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this program is very similar to the last one. We declare and initialize a variable number to 1, and then we say while the value of number is less than or equal to 10, write out the value of number to the console, increment number by 1, and then go back through. So what happens is, if you watched it line by line in the loop, the first thing it does is it tests the value of number. number is equal to 1 the very first time in, so that's true. It writes out the value of number, then it increments number by 1, and now number's 2, and then it tests again. 2 less than or equal to 10 is true, so we write out the value 2, increment by 1, and then continue on. So finally, after we've displayed 10, then number becomes 11. When number is equal to 11, it goes back and performs the test. 11 less than or equal to 10 is false, so we drop out of the loop, and that ends the program. So those are two simple examples that demonstrate how while loops work. We'll move on now to the next lesson where we talk about one particular type of while loop that's called a count-controlled loop.